So, hello, Ian, and thanks for taking time to talk with me today. So, how are you been doing during these interesting times we have been living in?
Um, well, apart from the touring, I haven't really noticed. It's been a great period for me to do for writing and relaxation, and just generally enjoying life. It's been like a big holiday.
Okay. Yeah, well, you as a band have been always quite active when it comes to touring, so I guess it's also good to have some time off, but I guess this is a bit too much time
Yeah, it's
off.
weird. Yeah, it's right. You know, it's one thing or another. It's weird. It's very weird, but you know, make the best of things, I say.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously the reason we are doing this interview now is because you will be dropping a covers album, Turning to Crime, on November. So first of all, where did you get the idea to make a covers album, and was this sort of like a fun project you wanted to do at some point?
Yeah, no, I don't think we ever planned to do one. It was just circumstances, really, like so many other people. There was the main reason for this. Excuse me. The main reason for this was because we couldn't write together. Touring we can handle. Okay, you just don't do any tours and wait for the green light and off you go again. But writing's another thing altogether. And we spend a lot of time thinking about music, and so we just couldn't get together. A recording was not a problem. Everyone can record digitally and remotely these days. So that was something we aimed for. So our producer, Bob, said, look, we can't write, so let's do something and see how it works. We were a bit reluctant to start with, but Ian Pace said, let's just do 2 or 3 and see if it sounds okay. So we did, and we didn't turn back. It was a thing of joy.
So I guess this was also a bit of a therapy project for you guys, since you cannot go out on the road as well.
Well, personally, I never thought of it as therapy, but I suppose you could call it that, yeah.
So obviously making cover songs.
Therapy.
Yeah, obviously making cover songs is like, it's not always easy, because it's quite difficult sometimes to sort of make the songs sound your own, which have been made by someone else. So was it hard to decide which songs you put on the album?
That's a good point. We didn't want to take anything away from the original. We respect the original. You can never change the memory of an original recording. It's always there, and it's there for a reason, because it was the first. And we loved it. And so the reason for doing these was the selection process for the material wasn't anything to do with specifically that we like this kind of music or this kind of singer or that kind of approach or that kind of song, or it has some great memories for us from the past. It was nothing like that. What we did was sling in about 50 ideas, and the reason, see, you know this, Deep Purple is primarily an instrumental band. So what we're looking for was stuff that we couldn't improve, but that we could purplize. And by that, I mean that give the guys a chance to stretch out. So if you listen to the arrangements in these songs, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure. But was it difficult to sort of decide which songs you will end up doing? Was it like a hard work to choose the songs?
Nah, not really. I mean, you just have a couple of drinks and write down a list. It's always been that easy. But I'm very pleased to tell you that the 10 songs I put forward, not one of them has been recorded. So this is all songs from the other guys' suggestions. And that's quite natural, because they're looking at the instrumental implications.
So what kind of like experience overall it was for you to make this album?
Well, it's like going to work. What you do behind the scenes is try and do things as calmly as possible to make them sound exciting. And the only way we know how to do that is by playing music. And that's no big deal. I mean, we do that every day, whether we're together or apart. So it's part of the daily process. You know, I write every day, every single day in my life. And I've got books filled, and I write on my computer. And I think about 5% of it actually gets used. But it's like practice. So when you go to do it, it's second nature.
Basically, you said that you are like constantly writing music on your own. So have you been doing a lot of like your solo stuff during the downtime?
No, I didn't know. I didn't say I've been writing music. I said I've been writing.
Okay.
So I don't write music until the last minute. I write every day, observations, notes, essays, stories, articles, and I try and capture the moment with the color and the flavor of the moment. So when I do use it in a song or a story, maybe some years later, I can describe the color of the clothes people were wearing, or just, it's important to have those. That's part of writing. So I don't write songs.
Okay.
Every day. Sorry to correct you.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So obviously the latest album of your own material, Woos, was released in August, and obviously you haven't been able to support it like properly because of this pandemic time. But have you been like still writing on your own like music for the next album, or do you feel that Woos will be the last one you will be releasing, or how do you see it yourself?
From my point of view, I never write songs for another record, ever, until the time comes. I don't accumulate material for more than one album because I believe music should be of the moment. But as far as the last album is concerned, no, we're going to live forever and make another 1,000 albums.
Okay, sounds very good for us fans. So obviously you will be coming back also to Finland next July to play a few shows with Accept.
Indeed, yes, I can't wait.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you that what can we actually expect from the shows, and what have you been doing during the pandemic time to sort of keep yourself in shape for the shows to sort of resume?
Well, you can expect exactly the same as we've always done, and that is a selection of music, old, new, improvisation, and whatever it might be. I can't give you the set list now, but hopefully it will include a couple of songs from Whoosh, which we've never had the chance to promote. Hopefully it'll include one or two songs from Turning to Crime. And I see no reason to sort of worry about including either of those now. Obviously, if you do put stuff in, you have to kind of make space for it. And also make sure that the balance is right with regards to the other material in the repertoire. But keeping myself in shape, well, I never have done. I just live, and I keep as active as I possibly can. And I do a lot of swimming. I don't do so much hiking. I used to hike most of my life. I used to love walking for miles and miles every day. But I don't do that so much now. But I do swim a lot. Apart from that, I don't know. I drink beer, drink wine. That always helps.
Yeah. You enjoy also the life as well.
Of course.
So obviously fans have always been like really close to your band. So do you feel that you will still be doing like, for example, meet and greets on the upcoming tours? And will you, for example, still meet fans in front of hotels, or do you feel that that's gone because of these times we are living in?
I don't know. I've got a different view on that. The rest of the guys do this VIP meet and greets. I'm not really in favour of that myself, but I like meeting the ordinary fans, not the wealthy ones. So it's a commercial procedure, that element, and everyone's happy to do it. So yeah, I guess we've got to learn to live with this thing. I think everyone's heard that said 100 times, that if we didn't meet people because we think they might have a cold or might have the flu or might have some political views that we don't agree with that might infect us, we have to just stop living if we end up like that. But I hope to meet people, embrace them, shake hands, give them a hug. That's living, and as far as I'm concerned, I think this pandemic is finished now in small patches, and I think it'll just fade away this winter. I think it's run its course like anything else. It's mutated enough times to weaken it. I think it's we just got to learn to live with it, as so many people have said. So yeah, let's get on with it. Shake hands and rock and roll.
Sounds very good. Sounds very good. So obviously, as a band, you have achieved a lot, and obviously, you as a singer have influenced like tons of musicians all over the world. But how would you actually see or imagine the last show of Purple to be? Do you feel that it would be correct to have you guys, which are now in the current lineup, to be up on stage playing a final show, or do you feel that it would be more of a celebration and have also some old guys and past members to join you?
No, if you start being sentimental, you'll kill the whole thing. That was in the past. It belongs in the past, and we remember it from the past very happily, those phases. But things have been evolving, and the music's evolved now to a stage where I believe it's deliciously exciting at the moment, and it would be a negative thing to do what you say. Sentimental, maybe. Negative, definitely.
Okay. So before we wrap things up, I want to ask you a bit about the future. So how do you see the future of the band? Do you feel that you will be still playing shows when you are, for example, 4 years turning 80, or do you feel that there is a time that it's good to sort of enjoy also the life outside the band?
Well, I don't even know how to begin answering that question. I can't see the future. I've always said that I'll keep working until I haven't got the energy. And if the energy goes, and don't forget that happens with older people, suddenly you just fall off a cliff one day and there's no energy left. And so that's the day I won't say I'll stop performing, but that's the day I will stop doing intensive tours and stuff that requires the energy of a young man. But until then, we're doing fine. I can't predict what the future will hold. But if you want me to, and let me sign a disclaimer, then I'll tell you all kinds of things. But I should remind you that somebody asked me once if I was a truthful person. And I said I am. I always tell the truth, except when I'm doing interviews.
Okay. So thanks a lot, Ian, for the time and all the best for the future of the band as well as for the upcoming release. Anything you want to say as last words to all the Deep Purple fans in Finland?
Yeah, I mean, this has been a great interview. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. You know, we got where we are today because we had a good solid base in the 60s and with a variety of music that was the influences to the band. And I'm so grateful to all the fans, especially in Finland, who've been so loyal to Deep Purple over the years and the changes and the evolutionary periods. And I think we've found ourselves in a really great place right now. There's so much energy, spiritual and physical energy, kinetic energy in the band that it's building up, and I can't wait to get back out on the road. So look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Sorry, that was a bit long, wasn't it?
No, it was fine. Speaking about this, like 2 years of basically being off the road, has this sort of given you like even more energy to be back and playing shows?
Well, I think the energy you're talking about is you're looking for mental energy or spiritual energy.
Yeah.
I mean, we can only have so much physical energy. I mean, there are limits to what any human being can do. And I think we tend to reach that peak. My kind of music is so demanding physically. It comes from an inner core. To deliver that power and those notes, I mean, you have to be very strong in your diaphragm. And so, all good so far. But I don't know. I don't know about that accumulation of energy. I think you can only have so much energy, and you make the best of it. What really makes the difference is the attitude. If you're positive, then you can achieve anything pretty much within your physical capabilities. But I hear so much cynicism and negative thoughts these days, and complaints and moans and groans and blame, that I wonder how music can thrive healthily in a climate like that. So The 2 years off, yeah, haven't really had time to think. I've been writing like crazy, meeting up with the guys a couple of weeks ago. We had a nice jam in Germany, and life is good. We're all thankful we've survived, and our families have survived, and it's time to crack on now. But to answer your question, I don't think you get extra energy by resting in a physical sense, but you do mentally, I think, benefit from a break. That's good. Yeah, so you come back full on.
Wise words to end the interview. So thanks a lot, Ian, and see you next July in Finland.
Yeah, look forward to it. Thank you very much. Enjoyed the interview.
Yeah, thank you a lot. Take care. Bye.
Okay, take care. Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.